Well, Mario, do you think he beats Barrios?
Don't matter if he beats Barrios or not. Still Rolly Pacquiao. How many losses does Pacquiao have? Oh, that's another thing, bro. Pacquiao another one that don't give losses, and everyone keep tuning in for him, right?
You take chances and try to knock him out. If you ever hurt him, finish him. But meanwhile, just sit back and box and do your thing.
You know, it has to be financial. I mean, any fighter that comes back, especially from retirement, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, it definitely has to do with money.
Manny Pacquiao's comeback at 46 has split the boxing world right down the middle. Some see it as a bold move by a legend, while others, including Floyd Mayweather, believe it's a mistake that could damage Pacquiao's legacy. Mayweather didn't hold.
Whereas Pacquiao, at his age, which is sad that he has to fight.
Rolly Romero weighed in on the situation with a different perspective. He said it doesn't really matter whether Pacquiao beats Mario Barrios or not, because
Which fighters actually won?
Rolly Pacquiao.
Well, Mario, do you think he beats Barrios?
Don't matter if he beats Barrios or not. Still Rolly Pacquiao. How many losses does Pacquiao have? Oh, that's another thing, bro. Pacquiao another one that don't give about losses, and everyone keep tuning in for him, right? Bro, all that undefeated, that don't mean shit if you're not fighting nobody. Nobody gives a fuck about you.
boxing icon Roy Jones Jr. praised Pacquiao's legacy, saying the Filipino great has absolutely nothing left to prove. Jones admires Pacquiao's incredible resume and questioned the need for a comeback at this point in his career. He made it clear,
Fighter of the decade, 1990s. Passing on the torch to Manny Pacquiao, fighter of the 2000.
Right?
Any advice tonight for him?
Just be smart. Don't get overly aggressive. Try to be smart with your aggression. Take your shots when you can, but don't go out there to just strictly knock him out. Just outbox him like you did last time. And when you get chances, take chances and try to knock him out. If you ever hurt him, finish him. But meanwhile, just sit back and box and do your thing. You have nothing to prove to him.
Any advice for any children and youth on the benefits of sports, not smoking in general? What would you say to them?
No smoking, no drinking, party lightly. Always keep your own mind. That's how I got to where I am now. I always keep my own mind. No smoking, no drinking, no drugs. Stay in your own mind. In your own mind, then you can make your own choices and decisions the proper way. Give yourself the best chance.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Salamat. Thank you.
Former world champion Tim Bradley echoed those concerns. He suggested that Pacquiao's return seems driven more by financial motivation than a love for competition. Bradley warned that Mario Barrios, being younger and in his prime, could seriously hurt Pacquiao and might even end his career in brutal fashion. To Bradley, the danger outweighs the reward.
Pacquiao getting back in the ring again for a world title fight.
Well, obviously, you know, it has to be pertaining to any kind of money. You know, it has to be financial. I mean, any fighter that comes back, especially from retirement, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, it definitely has to do with money. One, two, I think Manny Pacquiao, I think his C game is a lot better than anybody, a lot of guys' A game, even with the age. But you have to take into account the last time he stepped foot in that ring, man, against Ugas. You know, he didn't look good. He was outmatched by, you know, a younger fighter. Barrios is no slouch. Barrios is a young fighter, you know, bigger fighter, knows how to, you know, control distance very well, can punch a little bit. Like, he's no easy task for anybody in the welterweight division. And for Manny to come back after this long and to face a young guy like that is dangerous. And sometimes, you know, these old legends, they got to get beat up several times before they call it quits. You know, that Ugas fight, I don't know if it was enough for Pacquiao. That's why he's coming back. But Barrios, he can finish Pacquiao. There's a possibility that he can finish Pacquiao and basically cause him to go back into retirement once again. But again, what they say, the last thing that leaves is the power. If Manny got any of that power still left in him, if he lands that left hand, he can hurt the young gun. So, but that's easier said than done.
Yeah, I actually think he can beat Barrios.
Combat analyst Ryan Campbell, however, offered a more nuanced take. He acknowledged the odds, but brought up the story of George Foreman's legendary comeback, saying, "Boxing history has shown that age can sometimes surprise us." Campbell believes that while skepticism is valid, the unpredictability of boxing leaves room for one magical night, where an older fighter can summon greatness.
An only 8-division world champion. He'll be inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame next month. And then in July, BC, he's going to come out of retirement. Why now?
By the way, between those two dates, I believe he has an election coming up for a Senate position in the Philippines. So we always know that Manny is a busy man. He gets after it. He also dares to be great. And this is wild news. Look, in the boxing underground rumor mill, this had been floating around for a couple months. We just didn't know if it was going to be for real. Was Manny really going to commit to not just coming back after 4 years away, after just one fight in the last 6 years, at age 46, but to come back directly into a title fight against a young, in his prime, active champion, Mario Barrios? It's interesting theater, to say the least. It's a pay-per-view main event, reportedly for July 19th. And we know Manny Pacquiao has always brought big business, but now he's going to bring it in more of the late career George Foreman type of way to etch himself into that record book even further. Can Manny do it? I mean, look, the odds are certainly against him, but there's one thing about certain legends in this game. Think Bernard Hopkins, who fought into a very late age. Some of them, as long as they can physically get themselves into that ring, sometimes they can reproduce magic for one night. So it's a romantic situation. I got cats walking around.
Yep.
People are excited to see the Pac-Man back. You just got to kind of figure out, is this for real? Is he going to be for real? Or are we going to send him into a physical, violent retirement?
Campbell also addressed Pacquiao's current condition. While he's clearly not in his prime, Pacquiao still shows flashes of the speed and footwork that once dominated elite opponents. Recent training footage showed the former 8-division champ looking sharp, his pad work fast and focused, and his footwork still rhythmic. According to Campbell, compared to many modern welterweights, Pacquiao still holds his own physically, even at 46. Despite this, promoter Frank Warren and broadcaster Simon Jordan have slammed the idea of Pacquiao returning to the ring. Warren called it disappointing and unnecessary, and Jordan added, "There's nothing left for Pacquiao to prove. This feels more like exploitation
Speed that matches
than
many
respect."
average fighters
To them,
today.
Pacquiao's
While he may not
place
move
in
with the
boxing
same sharp,
history
have
is
openly
already
voiced
secured,
strong disapproval
and
of Manny
risking
Pacquiao's
long-term health
return to the
for one more
especially when
title fight
Pacquiao's
is
legacy
just
has
not
already
worth
been
it.
secured.
Power, right? He hasn't fought in 4 years. What makes you think he's got a chance against the much younger, the 29-year-old Mario Barrios?
Look, I'm not saying the odds will be high that he's going to come back and pull this upset or even be ultra competitive. But again, it's sort of like Manny's already superhuman. Turning pro at like age 15 or 16 at 106 pounds and winning titles in 8 divisions. And oh, by the way, 2 fights ago for Manny in 2019, he came out of retirement and beat an unbeaten Keith Thurman for the welterweight title at the age of 40. There's very few greats that you can call all-time greats, and I think sometimes even above that category, there's that upper room. Is Manny Pacquiao one of those in boxing history? Sure. But let's look at a couple things. The last thing to go is power, yes. Manny was also absurdly fast in his prime. So like a Roy Jones Jr. who hung on far too long, but was still fighting professionally at the age of 50, he still got speed that kind of compares to the average or above average speed that's out there today.
I mean, Frank can speak to it far more eloquently than I can. I think it's a disgraceful decision. I think it's a appalling decision. I mean, the WBC make lots of appalling decisions, and I'm not a big fan of them. But the fact of the matter is Pacquiao is a legend of the sport. I don't know why they'd want to do it, whether it's the fees that they get as a result of it or whether it's the publicity. Boxing is in a brilliant position right now because of the Frank Warrens in the world and the relationships that he's developed over the last couple of years with the Saudis. That's opened the door for everybody else. We're getting brilliant fights. We don't need to rehash somebody that's 46 years of age that didn't look great in his last fight, stick him in against a world champion who isn't a great world champion, but that's not the point. The optics of this, the reality of this, there's no necessity for it. Besides the WBC doing it for, I think, illegitimate reasons.
Why? I mean, Frank, you know the sport inside out. It seems to me, why does boxing always seem to allow for these kind of stories to manifest themselves?
Well, it's not boxing
doing it. It's the governing body. I mean, it's their title, and they decide who can fight for their title. So that rests with the governing body. I mean, for me, George Foreman came back, but he came back at an old age and won the title at 50 years. He was 50 years of age when he fought. You know, you look at.
But he didn't go straight into a world title fight, though, did he, Frank? He built up.
That's the point I was going to make. You know, you come in and you test the water. Go straight in for a world title fight is I don't see. I just don't go with that. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
And you know, and there are older guys who've managed over the years, although they've been active. For example, Bernard Hopkins, who's a great fighter, who fought well into his.
Both Warren and Jordan questioned why this fight was approved in the first place. They hinted that financial gain might be prioritized over Pacquiao's well-being. In their eyes, a fighter of Pacquiao's stature should be celebrated through retirement, not thrown into battle with a much younger, fresher opponent. They warned that this decision could end in regret, not glory. Others in the boxing community have gone even further, labeling the whole event a disservice to the sport. Some have compared it to spectacle fights like Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson.
Speed that matches many average fighters today. While he may not move with the same sharp, have openly voiced strong disapproval of Manny Pacquiao's
about the
return.
Integrity of boxing when such matchups are sanctioned, especially given the age and physical disparity.
His belt against Manny Pacquiao. And about 7 to 8, maybe 9, 10 years ago, I would have said, hells yeah, if we had a Manny Pacquiao championship fight. But Manny's been retired for 4 years. He's 46 years old. His last fight was in 2021, and he lost to Ugas in a unanimous decision. I watched his exhibition bout against the kickboxer guy in Japan. That didn't look good. This is a bad idea. A really bad idea. And again, I think people will look at this and go, well, Jake Paul fought Mike Tyson, and yeah, that happened. And I also said that Mike was going to get really badly hurt, and it was a terrible idea for him to do that. And there were some health issues and everything else. Luckily, Mike didn't get super hurt in the fight, but this is a world championship level fight against a sitting world champion, and Manny does not belong in there. And again, I'm worried that he's going to get hurt badly for the same reasons. What do I mean? The breakdown. Let's go. Let's just start here. Manny Pacquiao, again, I just went over it. 46 years old, been retired 4 years, lost his last fight. He beat Keith Thurman before that, but that was 2019. So it's been a while. And this is not me discounting who I think is one of the greatest boxers ever and has an argument to be the greatest ever, because what did he won world championships in how many different divisions? 8, 9, something crazy like that. There'll never be anybody like Manny Pacquiao. But let's just look at it and throw away your bias or throw away your fandom of Manny Pacquiao, because of course there's going to be a ton of people that watch this, and fair play, right, to those people that want to watch this. They want to see their guy go out and try to give it his all one more time. And Mario Barrios didn't look super spectacular when he was on the Netflix card, the Jake and Mike card.
Not everyone is against the comeback, though. Some believe Pacquiao's experience and instincts
that matches many
might allow
average
him
fighters
to deliver
today.
a competitive
While he may not
performance.
move with the same
Still,
sharp, have openly
fans
voiced
haven't
strong
forgotten his last
disapproval
fight
of Manny
5 years
Pacquiao's
ago,
return.
where he looked far from his prime. This split opinion mirrors the larger uncertainty about what this fight really represents: redemption, legacy, or something else. Despite the controversy, WBC President Mauricio Suleiman has officially greenlit the fight. He defended the decision, saying Pacquiao's commitment to the sport is unwavering. Suleiman said the Filipino icon wants to retire again, but this time as a champion. While he acknowledged the risks, he believes this fight could be historic, a final chapter for a once-in-a-generation athlete.
Manny Pacquiao against Mario Barrios fight is signed, done for July of 2025. Pacquiao is 46 years old. We haven't seen him in the ring in years. Are you cool with Pacquiao against Mario Barrios?
If I was cool with Manny Pacquiao coming back and fighting Keith Thurman, I'm definitely going to be cool with this one. Barrios is not a puncher. Thurman was one of the biggest punchers in boxing. I think he's going to be just fine.
If Pacquiao wants to come back as a Hall of Famer and fight one more time, whatever. He didn't look good against Yordenis Ugas, and that was 5 years ago. We've seen him in these exhibitions looking fleshy, to say the least. It's meaningless because if Barrios wins, he's never going to fight a Boots Ennis. If Pacquiao wins, he's not going to fight anybody ever again. So I'm kind of indifferent to the whole thing.
The WBC president Mauricio Suleiman has said Mario Barrios will face Manny Pacquiao this July. That's some crazy shit, bro. That's some crazy news. Manny Pacquiao is 46 years of age. He's making his return to the ring. And he said he wants to go out with a bang. He wants to finish his career as a champion. That's some crazy shit. Manny Pacquiao's professional record currently stands at 62 wins. 39 of those coming via knockout, 8 losses and 2 draws. Manny Pacquiao has one of the most impressive CVs in the sport of boxing. Just take a look at from 09, Ricky Hatton, all the way up until here. There's so many names: Timothy Bradley, Manuel Marquez, Shane Mosley, Joshua Cloteley, Miguel Cotto, Floyd Mayweather, Jesse Vargas. Like, there's so many names on this list, you know what I'm saying? Let's take a look at Mario Barrios' record. 29 wins, 18 of those coming via knockout, 2 losses and 1 draw on his resume. What do I make of this fight? I don't know, you know. I mean, listen, this is a young man's sport. I ask myself, Manny Pacquiao, why do you want to come back and fight a younger fighter? You know what I mean? Mario Barrios, who is the current champion, the WBC champion. Why? What have you got to prove? You've proven everything throughout your career. So I don't know what to say, but anyways, let me know in the comment section what you guys think, and watch a clip of the president of WBC, Mauricio Suleiman, talk about this.
As of now, Mario Barrios is the WBC champion. So who is he mandated to fight next? Do you have made that decision yet?
Well, at this time, Mario Barrios is going to fight Manny Pacquiao in July. He wants to retire as WBC champion, so he's fighting in the welterweight division.
Why does he come out of retirement and get a WBC title shot in his first fight?
Because it's something that WBC has respected. Sugar Ray Leonard was retired 4 years when he requested to fight Marvin Hagler and defeated Hagler. So we do have that provision in the rules. A legendary champion with the credentials such as Manny Pacquiao. He has been medically cleared, licensed by Nevada, so we have voted in favor to allow that fight to happen.